Welcome to Unqualified Uprising. I am your host, Mike, and we have a new great leader of this country. He's brought America back. He beat Kamala Harris and Timmy Walz, and we're about to start a new era in this country. I bring in my number one political pundit, Joe.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Very nice. I bring in the contributor, Tom.
Thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you. And producer, Adam.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome to the new era, the MAGA era, the Trump era. You have your hat on. I'm about to put mine on, Joe. But give me a little taste of how you're feeling. How did you feel when you woke up this morning?
I feel very blessed to live in America and be a citizen of the country. I think the country's been misled for a couple of years now. Poor leadership. I think that with this, it'll be nice to see this tin pot dictatorship come to an end that we've been dealing with the last 4 years.
Tin pot dictatorship?
Yeah. We're not living in a real dictatorship right now, but for the past couple of years, we've lived in a tin pot dictatorship.
Say it again. What does that mean?
What it means is there was a puppet government set up where the leader was actually Obama, but nobody knew it. So they had Biden there, and they had him as the puppet working for Obama.
Joey Blow?
Yeah, basically. I mean, and the thing about it is that a lot of people don't realize this, but there's a lot of conspiracies around Donald Trump because a lot of people believe that there was some contracts signed when he was president where he had seized control of a bunch of American assets and stuff that the left wanted back.
Wow,
so that's why
this went off the rails quickly.
But
what are you
but
talking
that's
about?
what that was.
What are you talking about?
I was happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy that Trump won. I mean, it was a landslide. It wasn't even close.
Yes.
And he won states he wasn't supposed to win, like North Carolina. North Carolina, if you forget, there was a hurricane that destroyed it, and a lot of the people.
Clarification: the whole state of North Carolina was not
the
destroyed.
entire state, but a portion of it. Yeah.
North Carolina got hit by a hurricane, and there were fatalities and massive property and land damage.
Yep.
Not the state.
No,
of
not
North
the entire destruction. No, not the entire destruction.
Okay.
But yeah, there was.
Well, we just had to clarify a little bit.
There were a couple of cities down there that were really messed up. They're still recovering, and they didn't get the money from Kamala Harris and FEMA.
They don't care. Ukraine.
Yeah, that's
Ukraine.
all they care about.
They were late.
But I've been enjoying listening to it all day. All these people crying on the news. Whoever heard of this? They were people actually crying in tears.
Yeah, I seen grown men crying.
Yeah, and journalists. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
Well, we don't have our cameras ready yet. Yes, I know. I get it. I know.
Yeah.
But when the cameras work, when you say the word journalist, you got to put up the quotation marks because these people are not journalists. They're not. Journalistic integrity is no longer present.
No, yeah, it's basically like Russia. It's a communist journalism company.
Yeah, I would more say it's propaganda.
Yeah,
on both sides, there's a lot of propaganda.
Yes,
but your overall feelings before you delved into conspiracy theories and rabbit holes was you were feeling good.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to move to
And
Tom.
I saw the results coming in last night.
Okay.
I went to bed probably around 11 o'clock. I had to get up for work early. I was looking at the election results and the swing states. It mimicked 2016 almost to a T. As the polls were closing and the election results were coming in, they were the swing states, all the states that Trump had to win the election. They were too early to call, and then around 11 o'clock or so, they went to too close to call, And as soon as I saw that, I was like, I think I could be here all night watching this. I know that he's going to win the election because it looks exactly like 2016. And I don't think that enough people are going to have for Kamala votes.
Not for nothing, Joe. It looked the same way in 2020 too.
It did not. No.
When we went to bed, I thought
it did not. A lot of states were already called though, and there was a lot of states were already called. There was the ones that all the fraud occurred. That they weren't actually called yet.
Suspected fraud.
Yeah, it's a suspected fraud.
Circumstantial evidence.
But a lot of them were. I mean, Wisconsin was leaning in Biden's direction. There were the results seemed a little bit more like 2016 than 2020 when I went to bed last night.
Well, they were the same as 2016, but I'm saying 2020 had the same feel to it to me. I went to bed thinking.
Well, they didn't have anything decided. I mean, nothing was locked up, nothing close. I mean, they were just holding off, and they were talking about how the printers were jamming and that the networks were down, so that way they could go in. There was some water leak. Remember
water main break?
Yeah, remember that?
Yes,
where they
remember all the nonsense. I remember all the shenanigans and the flims and the flams. And people getting hoodwinked and people getting boogabooed, and I understand.
Yes, there was plenty of alleged fraud.
Now, when you went to bed and you laid your head on that pillow and closed your eyes, did you see like the heavens open above and Trump come flying down and going, Joe, don't worry, Joe, and he's doing the YMCA dance?
I mean, I
knew it.
I saw Trump basically coming at me with a motorcycle and a MAGA hat and flags saying hi, waving to me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Trump.
I was like, there's no way that he's going to lose. I just knew it. It was just one of those things. That's why I wasn't concerned about staying up all night. And this guy Tom over here,
this guy Tom,
he pretty much posted saying that he was concerned about staying up. How late did you stay up?
Well, I slept intermittently.
Oh,
okay. Hold on. I'll do the interview here if you don't mind. Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Okay, Tom. Were you sleeping intermittently during the night?
Yes,
No. Go ahead. How are that was just your monologue. Don't turn your mic off though, because we need to capture everything. Okay, we got it. Okay, Tom.
Yes, sir.
You talked about how you felt when you went to bed. What were your feelings when you woke up?
Well, I woke up. I think one time at 1 a.m. I was checking it.
Feverishly scrolling through your phone.
I woke up suddenly, like I had like the alarm was about to go off in 5 minutes. So I was more confident every time I turned on the phone because I mean, when the early returns came in, it was, of course, it was all blue because the only returns that were in were from the cities and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like in Pennsylvania and stuff. Kamala had a big lead. That's what they were saying. Look at this.
It's a blue state.
Yeah, people were getting excited.
It's out of control.
It was 2% of the vote were in. Kamala had a commanding lead. I'm going, well, it's 2% of the vote.
I don't know why that happens. A little state of like Vermont comes in first.
Yeah. Well, we talked last night about it. I said we were saying we said it. Pennsylvania's closing in fast. He was closing in a rap. I think when I left the house to take my daughter to work, he was losing. He closed in. By the time I got home, he was winning.
Can you guys yak for a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, yak for a little bit. Okay.
So the last time I checked the results, this afternoon they called Michigan for Trump, and Michigan he won Michigan.
The dogs are gonna bark. Keep yakking.
Okay. There are 3 states right now that Trump has a really substantial. Well, not 3 points. 3 points in Nevada. He's winning substantially in Alaska too. Arizona's close. Alaska wasn't called yet for whatever reason.
Okay, but it looks like he won it.
Yeah, he definitely won Alaska. There's like no chance of Kamala winning.
We got to count every vote.
But yeah, well, that's the thing too. It's like you have a state like Alaska. I don't know what their situation is, right? But it's like you could actually make a case, depending on how much infrastructure. They might have satellite internet over there. I don't know what they have.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing. You could make a case with Alaska. Okay, there might be a little excuse as to why the election results aren't in. But when it comes to states like Nevada,
Alaska's
states like
cold.
Arizona,
Alaska's cold.
yeah, but it's not. It's not about the temperature of it. It's about the networking and what technology they have. Do they have the same technology as the other 49 states?
I don't
Because
know.
Nevada has really good. They have the same technology as us. As far as I'm concerned, the election results should be in on election day. And the
Right.
same thing with Arizona.
always used to be.
Arizona's a joke. The printers were jamming up. They couldn't print the ballots. I mean, and then Pennsylvania, the network went down completely.
Yeah. So Arizona, I don't think is cold yet.
No.
Right? So
It's a humiliation. It's an abomination.
yeah.
Pennsylvania, they actually did good. They ended up getting, they extended it. They handled their situation good, but it shouldn't have happened.
I was thinking he had to get Pennsylvania because I was looking at the West Coast and I was thinking to myself that shit. There's all those California. What is it? 30? I don't even know.
50.
50 fucking electoral
Yeah.
votes. I'm saying like
Of all
California, and
liberals.
That's automatic. I mean, every election, 50 goes to
Yeah.
the Democrat, no matter what. And that's a whopper of a total.
And you got to make a case too about the liberals are definitely losing electoral votes from these states. Like they didn't really lose any from California, but New York went from there used to be 33 electoral votes down to like 28 or 29.
Yeah, it's still a lot, but yeah, I get it.
You know, I mean, because the state, people are moving out. They're moving to Tennessee and Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah. That said, he didn't do bad in New York necessarily.
No,
compared to
I thought it was incredible.
Yeah,
He did like
and
12
New Jersey.
points.
New Jersey, he did great. I mean, he lost, but that's not great. But he what was the total? Like 47 or 48% of the vote, I think he got in New Jersey.
And that helped out with the popular vote.
Yeah. So he's got that was the thing. That was important to me that he won the popular vote. I'm so sick of that nonsense.
because then they're not going to say, oh, there's fraud or whatever.
They'll call it forever because I know Hillary won the popular vote and people wouldn't shut the hell up about it. But what am I going to do? It wasn't that I had he won in 2016 and that was the reality of it. And but this is the only way to be fair. And I think it's fair when you consider they get freaking most of the blue states get the majority of the electoral college anyway. You know, I mean, look at New York and California combined.
Yeah. And the concern was, too, that if the Republicans didn't take the House and the Senate, that they would have tried to impeach him. But it looks like they have the Senate locked in, and the House, they might have just
We might have a
few
sweep.
seat majority on the House, too, which will be good.
So what does that mean? So this is, to me, see, everything else is gaga. To me, this election was about immigrants or illegal aliens, like 90%. Everything else was just nonsense. All this stuff is the media telling you he's going to take away gay rights, he's going to take away trans rights, he's going to take away abortion.
Yeah.
No. They fight over the stupidest shit. And gays have every right that me and you have, and so do trans people. I mean, at my job, if it's federal law, if somebody refers to if some non-binary person wants to be called they, and I don't refer to them as they, I can get fired. You can get fired in New York for that.
Yeah.
You know, that's they have their rights. Everybody has their rights. That's a little bit of an overreach to me, but it's their rights. They have them. So nobody's going to take it away. It's all settled law. Nobody's going to take their rights away from them. That Trump giving abortion back to the states is not him taking their rights away. He's just said, okay, I don't want it handled on the federal level anymore.
And everyone associated with Roe v. Wade as saying that taking it away means that abortion's banned. That's not true. Roe v. Wade gave abortion rights to the country. It was not, when you take it away, that just means it's going back for what the states want to do. And I don't think big government should be responsible for that.
No,
I
none
don't
of the
think they
states
should let the states or better yet, not let government do it and let the doctors and stuff. But that's why, you got to remember that was the reason for Roe v. Wade is the doctors had a morality issue with it. So that was originally why they did it. But
the big thing to me, and it was very important, is when we talk about illegal aliens, I'm not talking about some guys coming in here trying to get a job at a car wash. These are gangs and networks of people coming in and sex trafficking. This is like angry goons and their mobs and all that, and they're destructive, and they got to be removed. And they're going to be out of here. They're going to be out of here.
But when the people came in periods of immigration, like with Ellis Island and stuff back years ago, when they had people coming in, the reason that they did all the vetting that they did, where they asked them where they were going to work and everything, is because they didn't want people to come into this country that weren't legal and weren't able to work, weren't able to live the American dream. And it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense to let people in and then have the government pay for their existence because they're not legal. They don't have working papers or working permit or even a visa.
Same should apply now. You come in if you have a skill, but as he quoted the term he used that it got everybody concentrated on the term hombres. This is just networks of people that are trafficking girls, that make them go out and prostitute, tell them they're going to make a certain amount of money or their family's going to get killed. These are freaking bad fucking people.
Yes,
that
they
need
are.
to be fucking removed from the country.
Yeah, and
this is happening.
And that's not just that. There's also the other thing too. There's also the people that are just trafficking fentanyl into the country.
It's there's money to be made. Money lies, honor dies, man. And that's it. And that's what I'm saying. From what I understand, I know one person who's a Fed, and he's saying like you let this person go, let that person go. You got people driving without drivers. Let this person go, let that person go. Seems to insist Trump gets into office again, that shit's gonna stop. It's got to stop.
Yeah,
they got to be extradited the fuck out of there.
Well, yeah,
like from your car over the wall.
Well, first thing you do is you protect the border that's there now to prevent it from happening anymore, and then the people that are in here that are doing that, you send them packing. So, but the first thing is you secure the border right now, so it stops.
So what's the deal with the wall? I mean, he didn't. The wall wasn't really mentioned in his campaign. They're going to attempt to build this thing again.
I heard him talking about it maybe a year or two ago about building the wall, but you're right. He hasn't mentioned it recently.
I don't think
at all.
Maybe it's not economically possible at this point because I mean, you started to build this border,
and then they took it down.
And they take it down. So what's the fuck? So you're gonna start building it for 4 years? It almost seems like he could completely build. The wall can be done, and then if we get some left-wing loon in 4 years that wins, then let's tear it down again.
Exactly. And it's the same thing with the oil wells. We were drilling in this country, in Oklahoma and everywhere. They capped the oil wells. They haven't been using them for years, and now they're going to go back to it.
Oh, yeah, we should use it's our resources. Why don't we use it?
I know, but the thing about it is that a lot of the people that are in Oklahoma, now you got to rehire the same people. It's a pain in the butt. If you wouldn't have stopped it to begin with.
It's a lot of money, but the argument is
you wouldn't have had the...
Are you guys done solving the world's problems?
The argument
So what'd you decide?
We're happy that Trump won.
You're happy that Trump won.
Excited, yes.
Okay, Tom, and you are happy that Trump won?
Yes, I'm most definitely happy
You were
Trump
feverishly checking your phone at 1 a.m.? When did you know?
I was cautiously optimistic in the weeks leading up to it. I was starting to think, like, how could he... There's no way he can lose. There's no way he can lose. But
right.
I mean...
But just more this
I knew
morning.
it when I woke up. When I got up for work.
Did your wife tell you, or did you just on your own?
I knew, and then I said something to her.
Okay.
And
she cried.
She said, "Looks like it's down to like he needs 3 more electoral votes." And
it's over. It's over.
Yeah, it was for all intents and
Did you run outside your house chanting and waving the flag and everything?
I should have. I should have went out in my red, white, and blue underwear.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hold on over there. Okay. Now
I had to check myself.
Okay, producer Adam. What was your night and morning like?
Well, went to sleep around 11.
You went to sleep around 11. What were you doing at 11?
Watching TV.
Watching election stuff?
Yeah, that and flipping between that and just like American Dad or some bullshit.
McGilla Gorilla?
No, American Dad.
You don't even
Smith.
know McGilla Gorilla.
Yeah, dude, it's a gorilla guy.
He's a gorilla guy.
He is a gorilla guy. We worked with a guy you and I.
Yeah.
He had one eye, and he called a guy
McGill.
Gorilla. Oh my God! Let me recite this real quick. Hold on. A guy with one eye described another guy with two eyes as McGill Gorilla on the 25. That is all in one. That actually happened to me. But that okay.
I know you're talking about.
So
and,
So you were back and forth between Crowder and weird Asian anime videos.
American Dad's weird Asian
No, I like
anime?
American Dad, but you were probably were you watching hockey highlights?
No, I wasn't.
Peter Forsberg highlights?
No.
No.
Just flipping back and forth, and then
Okay.
I go, Trump looks like it's gonna win, and then went to sleep. It was like 198 to 98 or some crap.
You didn't eat like 17 extra hot burritos and then go to bed?
Wait, so
No,
it was
definitely
198,
not.
98, and you thought it was over. That's the thing. I didn't
Well,
think
it
it
was
was
close.
that-
Well, was getting there.
I was so worried about California and all those states.
I knew
catching
that
up.
was. I knew that was.
Well,
gonna
I know you
fucking-
knew, but I'm saying
California?
Arizona was worrying me, but the fact that he won, because I wasn't so,
Commie-zona?
yes, I wasn't so sure he was going to get Pennsylvania and Michigan at that point. Pennsylvania started to come clear. Georgia did. North Carolina looked like he was going to lose at first.
Yeah, and then I woke up around probably like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Checked it again. It's like 250, 260,
To what?
126
Yeah.
or some
At
shit.
that point, it's over.
And then I just went back. I went back to bed. Woke up around 6ish, and then went. Well, projected to win. I go, shit. I can't.
Get my
believe
riot
this.
shield. Time for war.
And the heavens opened.
J6 Part 2.
Oh.
And the heavens opened.
Okay, so which one of you dorks is going to ask me?
What were you doing
So-
last night?
Okay. What were you going to say?
Well, I mean,
I knew it.
The-
Go
the-
ahead. Go
the
ahead. He's got the phone in his hand.
the bias in the news media that we're living in is just incredible.
Okay.
No shit.
I was just
Don't worry about me, folks.
I literally was just
You're the
reading this
host.
in
I
Politico.
was the host.
It
got
was
fired.
it was an
Okay.
article written by Erica Orden in
Oh,
Politico.
that guy.
It says, "Listen to this. This is the headline."
That's what it says, listen to
no,
this?
I'm gonna read two sentences.
You can
Don-
read all the sentences if you want.
No, it's a long article.
I don't care.
Donald Trump's victory
Yeah.
means the nation's first convicted criminal turned president elect is headed for the White House instead of a prison cell.
Okay.
That's because Trump's November 26th sentencing hearing
Okay.
in the hush money case almost certainly won't happen. I think any reasonable judge wouldn't sentence the president-elect, said Jill Culver, a retired New York trial judge. Imposing a sentence now, even a non-prison sentence like home confinement, probation, or community service, would interfere with the soon-to-be president's duties, legal experts say. In theory, the judge who presided over the hush money trial, Justice Juan Merchan, could try
Merchan.
to proceed with the sentencing
Never
as
mind.
scheduled and ordered.
Hackle.
So that's pretty much. So that he's not going to be held responsible in any. And even if he got elected and they tried to play around with him, he could just pardon himself.
I don't know if you can pardon yourself.
Oh, there's no rule against it. There's nothing in the Constitution saying you can't pardon yourself. This was actually discussed.
All
'cause
right,
they were
sidebar over.
Well.
What were you doing last night, sir?
What was that? Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, me?
I wasn't done. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Can I, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm the host of this radio / internet / podcast / variety show
That's
/
bullshit.
whatever it is. We got some views on Rumble.
Yeah, got like one on YouTube.
We got like one on YouTube.
Yes.
We got a fan. You know, we got one fan out there, and possibly, you know, we're one algorithmic pulse away from stardom. So,
And remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
yes,
Please.
Important.
yes,
Por favor.
yes, and send us funny stuff in our website, Joe. What's our website?
It's unqualifieduprising.com.
Okay, and they
Nice.
can send us stuff. What can they send us?
I don't know. What can they send us?
What do you mean you don't? What do you, yeah, you do.
They could.
Can they email us?
Yeah.
Could they email us like a middle finger?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Email us
Good.
a middle finger.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, no, you don't have to do it. I'm just wondering. Like, can they send us fan mail?
Sure.
Can they send us hate mail?
Yeah.
Good.
Criticize us.
What the hell's
Hey,
going on?
exciting.
Okay.
Let us know how stupid we are.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks like a complete route.
my phone's
ladies
ringing.
and gentlemen.
Oh, my phone's moving.
The House, Senate, and the presidency.
Yeah, but sweep. The
Yeah,
sweep.
that
They
was-
want to
Okay.
come
was
on.
Okay. So, I trying to do this internet show with you guys, and obviously Trump is a big, this is the unqualified uprising. He was the unqualified candidate, and you know what? He won, and now he just won again. So you couldn't get rid of him.
Kill him.
You couldn't kill him. You couldn't arrest him.
You threw everything you had.
Through everything you had. So I would love to mirror that meteoric. How do you say that word?
Let you get it.
The meteoric. I would love to have that meteoric rise to fame, like Trump running for president.
So like and subscribe.
Yes. So obviously, I have that on my mind because this is like a pet passion of mine. So I'm always thinking about that. So throw in what was going on yesterday, the election. So I'm trying to be a pundit. I'm trying to be, an internet personality or an internet commenter, whatever the fuck I'm trying to be. I'm trying to get on the internet and ask people questions because I like it, and I like you guys, so I ask you guys questions, and I think we have, intelligent things to say sometimes. This might not be one of them, but
I think it's one of our better ones.
yeah. So I'm sitting in my fucking garage because that's like my down in the basement is the studio and like my place of business, but in the garage is like my sanctuary.
Is that your man cave, Mike?
It's my man cave.
It's the warm up. It's the warm up hut. That's what I look at it as.
Yeah. Oh, the bullpen.
The bullpen, so to speak, yeah.
I like that, man.
We warm
I
up.
like
We
that.
warm up in there, and then we come downstairs.
Yeah,
to do
we get
business.
fired up in there, and then we come down here and get even more fired up. So that's like my sanctuary. My wife's redoing the walls and shit. There's wood. There's license plates. There's cool shit out there. I got signs, whatever. So that's like my piece. So I was sitting out there, and I had on, somebody was running like a simulcast of some guy on the bottom. Like I could see him, and he was like talking, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. And he was running like a feed of CNN, and they were just from 6 o'clock on. I don't even think the polls were closed yet. It was panic, and it was giving me like a fucking panic attack. It was giving me agita. I was sitting out there. I'm like, oh my God, I can't watch this because I've never seen gaslighting this evident. Well, she's down 9 million to 2, but she could make it back. Like they were coping and having meltdowns before. I feel like probably the day before yesterday, they were doing it.
They had to have known something. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, idiots like us had a feeling. Even though we had our favorite was at stake. We had a feeling.
Oh, I thought I gave you. I thought I already asked you that question. I asked you your night.
I'm not talking about the night.
Yeah, I'm talking about my night.
Go ahead. Talk about your
Okay,
night.
thank you.
Your
Okay,
show, I forgot.
Thank you. No, okay. Well, no, it's
Thank
not
you
even.
for putting me in my place, Mike.
It's not putting you in your place. I was talking, and then you went off on Tom
didn't go off
tangent.
anywhere.
Tom tangent. Tom tangent
No,
alert.
no
Tom
tangent.
tangent alert. So, anyways. I was sitting in my garage. Don't you dare over there. If that phone goes off, I'm gonna throw this microphone at you.
I got a message.
Yeah, but it better not start ringing. It better. I love it. I love
He's got
you
a message.
too. You too. So, anyways, can you please pay attention to me?
Yeah.
I need your guys' acceptance, please.
Undivided
Please,
attention.
I need your undivided
Yes.
attention.
Okay.
So I am not per se allowed to broadcast a lot of politics in this house. We don't talk about politics in this house a lot. I'm meaning me and my wife. I don't watch politics in front of her. It gives her agita. She don't want to see it. She don't want to fucking hear it. Yesterday is the one day a year where I had politics on my phone, I had politics in the garage television, politics on the television in the fucking living room. If I had my Alexa going, I'd put politics on everything. Politics was on every screen imaginable in my house. And at about 7:30, I could not fucking take it anymore. It was sensory overload. I was sitting in my garage. I didn't cry. I didn't fucking whine. But I literally turned the television off, opened the garage door, and just went outside and kind of let out a big fucking sigh. Because it was leaning towards Trump. It hadn't gone to Trump yet. But it was almost like 4 years of bullshit. 4 years of some fucking blue-haired weirdo calling me some kind of fucking bigot or some kind of fucking racist or the bad guys from World War II. That's crazy. That's crazy. There's a part of me that wanted to watch it every minute. I didn't want to go to work yesterday. I wanted to turn it on at fucking 6 in the morning and watch it all the way until like 3 in the morning when they officially called it. I really, truly felt like I would have had a fucking seizure or a heart attack if I would have did that. So,
I think some did.
Yeah. So I'm like I said, I turned the TV off. I walked outside. I let out a sigh. I brought the car in, and I went into the living room, and I turned on politics again. And I think it was about 7:30 when I turned off the politics. I went outside for probably about 25 minutes, maybe even a half an hour, sighed about 100 times, and fucking looked up at the sky and thanked God that this is going to be over soon. I went in the house. I turned on the Xbox. I turned on politics. It was probably 8:30, maybe 8:15, and they were just starting to call it. They were just not call it. They were just starting to say.
The first returns were coming
Yeah,
in.
the first returns were coming in. It wasn't 1% anymore. It wasn't 3%. It was like 70%, 80%. And it was really looking towards a Trump victory. So I shut it down, and I turned on a video game. And I played the mindless video game for about 2.5 hours. It got to be about 11:30. I turned on the television. Again, it looked like it was going to be Trump. It looked like it was pretty much called for Trump. Went to bed, woke up this morning, and 5:14 in the morning, my wife opened the door and told me Trump won. Said, "Good morning, Trump won." I said, "Okay." And do you want to know what the next question was?
What's that?
This is why I wanted you guys to let me fucking talk. Can any of you guys think of the question that I was asked? It pertains to Trump being elected and what would happen if Trump got elected. What's Trump going to do if he got elected? That
Kill people in
Democrat.
concentration camps.
The first question I got, my wife must have been on Instagram or Facebook, and she said, "Why are a bunch of fucking people screaming that they are going to get put in concentration camps because Trump won?" And you got to understand, it's 5:14 in the morning. I'm scratching my head. I just put on my doofy Nanook hat and my ugly hoodie that I'm wearing right now. They got no camera because it smells. I got to change. I got to wash it. But I'm scratching my head looking at her, and the only thing I could think to say was, "Yeah, I remember when he did that last time he was president." And she kind of looked at me puzzled and then was like, "He didn't do that." I said, "He didn't do anything. These people are out of their mind." It was the blue-haired community. It was the fucking weirdo community. They think that people are coming for them. They make the gun people that think the government's coming for their gun, they make those people look completely sane. They make the doomsday preppers look like fucking stockbrokers. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, they make the flat earthers look like fucking Mensa members. I don't get it. And then, as soon as I left my main house to go into my actual house to go into the garage this morning, it was just people crying. And I just sat there and I reveled in their tears. And that was my night. Thank you for letting me tell my story. Yeah. I appreciate it. Okay. What do you have to say, Joe?
When I woke up this morning and I had turned on, what I found interesting was Fox News called the election for Donald Trump before the Associated Press did. So what happened was, Fox News did, but then when you switched and you went to like MSNBC or one of those networks, it wasn't actually called for Trump.
They were hoping against hope that something would change, like some miracle would happen.
And that once the Associated Press called, then they all called it for him.
Well, 7 billion people voted for Trump. But listen, we still could catch him. We got like 5 million votes. That's comparable to billions, right?
So 99 out of every 100 votes come in now, like this state and that state. We got this. Don't worry about it. Don't give up. Don't give up. And if you're online, stay online.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, all that nonsense. Yeah.
That was concern in Pennsylvania on both sides. They were both because of the network outage. They were saying
they kept it open late. In some counties.
Just stay in line because if you were in
line.
What
time did you get off work?
I got done working at like 3.
What time was that network outage in Pennsylvania?
I don't.
3:01.
No, I was hearing about it at like when I turned on the TV at like 8:00 at night. They were talking about the fact that it was extended.
They didn't say it originated from near Schenectady, New
no,
York.
No,
I heard about it. There
Make
was some
sure.
sort of problem. No, I heard about one around here. I can't remember what town, but somebody told me at work.
Yeah,
something happened with it now. Just some
but
bullshit while they're online.
It was in Pennsylvania that they were concerned about because that's a swing state. New York, they don't care about because in New York they know it's going to go to the Blues, so they don't actually care as much. It's not a swing state.
We're commies. New York's a bunch of commies.
Pretty much.
Good Lord.
I mean, they're not going to. You know that the discussion has been going on for years.
What?
About splitting New York City from the state.
It should be like Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
it should be. Why?
You would also want to split the electorate, but...
Whatever, who gives a shit? Take them. Take them and deal with your endless piles of garbage and immigrants. Good luck. Yeah. Illegal immigrants.
Exactly.
That's it.
So you're talking about like cutting it off in Westchester and coming for the rest of the
Yeah.
No, well, right at the bridge. Right at the bridges.
It basically already is separate. People associate Westchester and up as upstate. And Westchester and down is below Westchester.
So anywhere in the boroughs you're talking about. So
yeah, New York City.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we're gonna pivot, and I'm gonna ask you guys if you watched Trump on Joe Rogan. I'm asking you. I'm looking directly at you.
I watched a little bit with you, and then I watched the entire episode.
Did you watch Vance with him?
No, I did not.
Did you watch any Joe Rogan, Tom?
I watched only highlights of it. That was it.
Adam?
Bits and pieces.
Of both or bits and pieces of one?
No,
of one, Donald Trump.
I just watched the Donald Trump one.
Yeah, I'm just, I mean,
You're just a Trump fanatic.
Well, I mean, I probably should pay attention to Vance. I didn't really watch Pence. I mean, when he had Pence, I didn't watch interviews that Pence had.
Flyboy.
You know what I mean? Why would I watch? I mean, he's a good debater,
I love
Vance is.
but I'm just saying that all these people that turned on Trump, it kind of validates
He's a master debater.
Okay, back to Rogan. Rogan is what the Joe Rogan experience is. What this podcast would love to be. He is the most popular podcaster by far, other than some fucking weirdo somewhere. It's probably better than him, but who knows? I don't think so. He had Trump on. He had J.D. Vance on. The Trump interview got fucking shadow banned for a bunch of hours. You couldn't find it. I typed in Trump, Rogan, and Kamala Harris shit came up.
You know how to fix that?
Clear, huh?
You know how to take care of that situation?
No, I ain't no fucking internet hacker like you. I don't know.
You know, it's very simple.
I'm sure it is.
Tell
everybody.
You watch it on Spotify, through the Spotify app. Not YouTube.
Okay.
Not YouTube, not ScrewTube, not Facebook.
You heard it. Not Fedbook. What are you talking about?
Fake
you use the Spotify.
That's Tom's
app.
world over there.
And any interview that they give that you don't want to have, if it's not Rogan, Rogan's exclusive to Spotify. He only has clips on Rumble.
No,
but if it's not on Rogan, let's say, if it's something like with Trump or whatever, look for it on Rumble, and if you'll see the full and complete version.
Look for us on Rumble.
You just don't go to YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
the full version's on YouTube.
Yeah, but it
wasn't at first. But because they shadow banned it.
Yeah,
like I think they're doing to us. I think they're shadow banning us.
Yeah, it could
they
be.
Know.
That's why you want to put it on Rumble too, which it is.
We're on Rumble.
Yes, so that's what you want to do.
We did that.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
We're
doing it.
Yeah, I mean, some other
How
like
many non sequiturs can I have? Yes, we did.
Okay,
No, we
good.
did not.
Louder with
Sure.
Crowder and
Louder with
and
Crowder.
Bongino.
Yes.
They don't even I mean, it will maybe Louder with Crowder put stuff
I would
on
love
YouTube,
to have a fifth of
but
what those guys
Bongino
have for
doesn't.
listeners.
Bongino doesn't put anything on YouTube, and he doesn't put any podcasts
Well, that's because
on
they
Google.
boned him out of Parler.
Yeah, so
That's
what
the
he
only
does
reason
is
why.
he just puts it on Rumble.
Because he's petty like me. I'm petty too.
Yeah.
If I was Elon Musk and they were calling for me to go to jail, I'd fucking take away all their Teslas or press a button so their Tesla smells like farts or some shit. Like
Pay him X, that'll show him.
yeah. So Rogan reached out to Kamala after having JD Vance on, which got 12 million views. Trump got like 80 million views. It's probably the most watched political interview ever. I don't think there's any. I don't know. You'd have to dig up fucking a bunch of them and prop them up. You'd have to dig up Andrew Jackson to get a bigger fucking. You'd have to dig up George Washington to get a bigger view on YouTube, to get a bigger view count. He offered it to Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala said no. Then Kamala said, "You fly to me, and I'll give you 45 minutes," which in president time is probably like half an hour. Which 10 minutes of that is probably introductions and getting to know each other. 10 minutes of the meat of the conversation, and then 10 minutes of goodbyes and pleasantries. So that would be a non-interview. I don't know Joe Rogan personally. I've been watching him for fucking since the News Radio days. I watched him on News Radio. I love that show. God rest fucking Phil Hartman's soul. Great show. Anybody that likes fucking sitcoms, I know you're a sitcom guy, Joe. News Radio was great. I loved Fear Factor. I hated watching them eat the fucking elk penis and the fucking balls of whatever creature they could find and hack the balls off of. But I've been watching Joe Rogan forever. There's not a better fight commentator than Joe Rogan. Maybe boxing, but not straight up fighting. He's the greatest fight commentator ever. He's perfect with his calls. He talks about fights in high school that he calls like a UFC fucking commentator, and I wish I was there. I wish I was at some of these fights that he was at. But anyways, I personally think, and this is what I'm asking you guys, but you guys didn't really watch it. Well, you did. Do you think Kamala Harris going on that podcast would have changed anything? And I'm be as non-biased as you possibly can, because there were undecided voters. I don't think 80 million of those views were all people that were going to vote for Trump already.
I think that
Rogan's fan base is mostly men and usually freedom loving, but more to the liberal side of mandom. Like not chicks with dicks, but you know.
If Kamala did a very good job of
3 hours, like Trump.
well,
Did more than Trump. Did 3.5 hours.
I don't. If she mentioned all the stuff that she was going to do, all the
didn't talk about Trump at all. Said, well, you know what? That's nice, Trump and everything, but I didn't come here to talk about Trump. And then went through her policies, said a bunch of shit, talked off the cuff, had a fucking drink. Maybe fucking smoked a joint with Rogan or ate some of that fucking honey that makes you trip or something. Something. Anything.
I think it might have made a little bit. I don't think it would have changed the election. You got to remember, she was on some big podcast. Well, not podcast, but she was on. She was on with Howard Stern.
That's not a big podcast. That's the
Howard Stern. Oh my goodness.
You're talking. He's a super old school fan. And I'm just a regular. He's been listening since almost the fucking beginning.
I've been listening to this since the 80s.
Yeah. I've been listening since
I don't think it would have
early
made
90s.
What their administration do look any better, like over the last 4 years. I think that if she would have,
I think you have a point there.
You know what I mean? If she would have not talked about as much the radical stuff, she might have gotten a few more votes. But I don't think it would have made a big difference. I really don't.
I think there's any way she could have won? Honestly. Is there any way she could have won? Besides yelling, I'll give everybody that votes for me $10,000.
I got one.
You got one? Okay.
Not saying that.
And I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I this is serious. Not saying that in the past 4 years that they do anything different in the next 4 years than they've already done.
That and her boss not referring to
Her boss.
her boss not referring to the supporters as garbage. You know what I mean?
Do you think
Trump
that really
supporters.
turned it?
I think a lot of voters
So
probably.
you think Joe Rogan couldn't have swayed it with Kamala, but you think Biden swayed it with garbage?
I don't know if they. I don't really think it was swayed either way. I think that when Biden said that, I think there were people that probably were on the fence of who to vote for, that might have voted for Kamala, that ended up voting for Trump because of that statement. Yes, I think it's possible. People that weren't sure who to vote for, but knew their grocery bill was high. You know what I mean?
My Doritos cost too much. Where's Kim Cheeto?
Yeah, I mean,
Guard them Doritos.
you know, it's like it's crazy. But I mean, look at her and look at how unlikable and how she just everything like the presentation. I mean, she didn't have a professional bone in her body. I mean, whenever she talked, it was like you could see her low IQ. I remember with Hillary when she would do interviews.
Okay.
Her ideas and some of the stuff she said was really out there, but she seemed more professional, more put
She was
together.
polished.
Rodham?
She was a
Yeah.
professional politician.
Hill Dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where I don't think
Hillary?
Kamala knew anything about politics, and which makes sense because they installed her anyway. She wasn't used to being a politician.
She and Biden didn't even win the nomination. Bernie Sanders did.
Yeah.
They boned him twice.
Now Bernie Sanders, with his big mouth, he was actually on Joe Rogan. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, Joe Rogan supported him.
Years ago.
But
I don't
that
know
was
if he
that was
supports him
before
now.
Bernie went full you can't have no money, but I got 10 mansions. That's
But
what buried
Bernie-
him.
Before he was eating with his
That's what
comb.
buried him.
But when Joe Rogan, when Bernie were doing the interview, Joe Rogan did make a comment to Bernie.
Call him a communist?
Yes, he did.
What?
He did. He actually called him that. He was laughing when he said it, but Bernie said something. He said, and then he said, "Yes." He said that sounds like a communist or something.
You know, we're gonna pivot real quick. 'Cause
Wait.
No,
You were gonna ask me
Stop.
the question.
Stop.
You were gonna ask me that question. You were gonna
Stop.
ask me
Will
that
you stop?
question.
Will you stop for fucking 2 seconds?
waited
Stop.
so
Stop.
patiently.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. And shut up for 2
Pivot.
seconds. Shut up for 2 seconds because I don't know what question you want me to ask you. So shut up and tell me what question you want me to ask you. I don't know what question I asked him. Tell me.
Would it have swayed the election?
There you go. Thank you. Jesus fucking
the interviewer.
Christ. And I can unplug your fucking mic.
If you're gonna pivot,
I was going to pivot quick, but you had to interrupt me.
Yeah.
So fucking go.
She made the time to go on Howard Stern. She made the time to go on Saturday Night Live. I'm saying that I don't think it would have. I agree with you. that it would've changed.
See? It's really infuriating when someone does that.
I'm just waiting patiently for you to
Yeah,
stop.
well, I was trying to pivot real quick and just talk about calling somebody Nazi, calling somebody commie. But go ahead. We'll get your horribly important fucking take out. Go ahead with your hot take.
Not even a hot take.
Hot
It's
take.
A common take. So he goes. She made the time to travel to see Howard Stern. Why did she do that? Because it was a softball interview. She made the time to go on Saturday Night Live. Traveled. The excuse she used for not going on Joe Rogan is she was gonna campaign in a swing state, which she had done. Which she had done already.
She went to Saturday Night Live instead.
And she went to Saturday Night Live instead of doing that. And she went on Howard Stern instead of campaigning. So she went on Howard Stern because Howard Stern slobbered all over her. It was an hour and 15-minute interview, and he slobbered all over her. And then she went on Saturday Night Live, and they slobbered all over her. If she went on Rogan, it would have been a tough interview. But if she went on there, she would have got maybe that much. The tiniest bit of respect for me, anyway. Just go on there. The one thing she did in the debate was she went up and tried, which was stupid. It was a stunt. Like, they clearly didn't like each other, and there was clearly contention there, but she went right up to him and tried to shake his hand, which just looked dumb. But it was like people, I mean, only her fans like that part. But if she went on Joe Rogan, then tried to answer questions, she might have got a few votes. I think she would have got a few votes over it, but it wasn't gonna change anything. And that's what I got to say.
Anything to say about that, Joe?
Yeah,
I knew it.
I do agree because I pretty much said the same thing, and I think that America was just sick of a bunch of things. They were sick of the wokeness. They were sick of being
Define
told,
what you mean by wokeness.
Their kids being told in school that they need to change their gender, that they're not right in their own body.
That could
What,
still
you're
happen.
telling me you what?
And then them having the parents having to go complain to the board, and then finding out that it's being pushed by the Democrat politicians, them not being able to afford anything, gas, groceries, etc. So
Those
look at
teachers
what
are
happened.
lying, Joe.
But look at what happened with the stock market today. It was up 1,300 points. It was 3%, 2%, 4%, and it was because the people knew that the economy was going to improve after Trump won. So that's why it was up.
So, like I said before, we're going to pivot to the left's playbook of calling people Nazis, far right, MAGA maniacs, etc., Russian infiltrators, Russian puppets, you name it.
Supremacists.
White supremacists, you name it. I think all that shit backfired. I think calling someone a Nazi that is like Donald Trump, or that's the equivalent of calling one of you guys a Nazi. That is like the biggest insult to anybody of any kind of Judea fucking background, Jewish background. Anybody that knows anybody that went through the Holocaust or knows a family member that had a family member go through the Holocaust, I don't think they go around calling anybody Nazis. That's probably the worst of the worst. But I actually did my research. And Hitler was not even close to being the worst fucking dude on this planet. It was more like Mao Zedong. Hitler killed like 19 million people. Mao Zedong killed 85 million people. So if you really want to be a douche, just call Trump Mao Zedong or Mao Zedong, however you say it. The guy that's on fucking Tyson's arm. That guy killed a whole bunch of people. I think it was called the Great Reset in China or whatever. So if you call somebody a fascist, if you call somebody a racist, if you scream about white privilege, if you scream about this, scream about that, you're going to be put into camps. Is there anybody getting shipped off to camps?
No.
Is anybody that's an illegal immigrant going to be forced out of this? Is there anybody that is here legally that is going to be forced out of this country?
No.
Is there anybody going to be put in tents or camps or fucking anything?
No.
So why do people continue to spew that fucking rhetoric? It don't work. It obviously don't work. It don't work on anybody. It can only work on them.
Actually, it does work on some people. The people spewing it.
Those people are dumb.
The people that are spewing it, that believe it, and they're the ones calling us those horrible things.
Let me tell you something. I'm not going to read it verbatim, but I'm going to, you know what? I'm not going to read it verbatim, but I'm going to look at it verbatim because you need to know. I'm getting more spam fucking election notices bullshit. But
I love the one that I got that said,
you're going to love this. So the gist of this message, I'll give you one sentence. If you voted red today, you are no longer welcome into our house. So that's the opening statement. Huh?
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Let's see. It talks about if you're a single issue voter, then you voted against me. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it goes on to say, well, even friends and family, if this pertains to you, sorry. Hopefully this nightmare will be over in 4 years. But seriously, if you voted for you know who, you voted against me, and you are not my ally.
So that guy.
This guy. This person.
I should vote for his best interest and not my own.
Correct.
Okay, and you should do the same.
Correct.
Joe, you should do the same.
Oh, I don't know because I ain't never gonna see this person
Yeah,
again.
I know we're never going to see him.
Well, I don't have to worry about it. I'm never gonna see this person again.
But they're thinking like the people that put these.
I'm a douche.
politicians-
I'm a douche. I'm a petty douche. You hear me? I'm a petty fucking douche.
People will protect their favorite politicians with more ferocity than they will their own mother, their own father, their kids.
That's insane. That's
It
It
insane.
is
that's what
insane
that-
because we're not
insane.
supposed to worship.
So that's what that guy
these
said.
people.
You know,
It's nuts.
that's cultism. That's what a cult is. I'm always told what MAGA's a cult. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a certain percentage of people that are in the same thing with the left. There's the right and the left that are cult.
I never heard I never heard anybody ever that has voted or gonna vote for Trump come out and say anything other than you're a blue-haired weirdo or you're stupid. I never heard anyone with a MAGA hat on scream, "You're not ever welcome in my house again."
No,
That's insane, and that's insane. I didn't put anybody on blast. I didn't read it verbatim, and I ain't giving no names, but.
Yeah.
And I got that secondhand. It was on the book. Everything's on the book. For some reason, people think once they put it on the internet that it goes away. No, it's there.
Forever.
And I'm going to see it. And I might make a point to look at it every single day. Because people that think like that are my enemy. They are not my ally. The only way science works, the only way politics works is with fucking discussions and reaching across the aisle and having dialogue with people. That's the only way any of this works. If you shut it off to the other side, don't be surprised when they get pissed. This whole thing was like, what's that shit they said when Japan attacked us in Pearl Harbor? What did they say? Do you guys remember what they said? That what Toho said?
I can't remember. No,
I wasn't born yet.
What do you mean you weren't born yet?
Of course I was.
So I believe it was Hirohito said that we have woken up the sleeping giant.
Yeah.
I believe that was the quote. Japan was all happy that Pearl Harbor happened, and like the government was meeting, whatever, and supposedly he said that to his people, like, we have woken the sleeping giant. I think that's when a bunch of people in tactical gear and blue hair and bricks come and burn down your city, you're going to vote for that again? You're a moron. You're an absolute moron. They're putting up the fucking boards already because they're scared of violence. Guess what? It ain't going to be no Trump supporters out there throwing fucking bricks. January 6th happened. I know it happened. It should have never happened. But if that's all you're holding on to, if that is all you got, it's not enough.
That is all they have.
It's not enough. It's not enough anymore. Russia didn't work. January 6th is all they had. And they went about it the complete wrong fucking way. They could have put everybody in jail for 4 years. But instead, they put this guy in jail for 20 years. They let this guy go. They put this grandma in there for 15 years. They did a bunch of bullshit. Everybody should have just got arrested. They should have all got trespassing. The people on camera fighting with the cops should have been put in fucking jail. That's it. I don't even know what... Listen.
And compared to the riots where people were caught on camera, compared to all that shit.
I think January 6th, the police shot one person, Ashley Babbitt, the girl that was climbing through the glass or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think they beat the fuck out of a bunch of cops, and another cop like died of natural causes later on that night or some shit. There's a couple of deaths connected to January 6th. But there's hundreds of deaths connected to the Summer of Love. There's 20 in Chaz alone, or CHOP, or whatever that shit was in Seattle, where they had their own fucking city for like a month. And for some reason, the military didn't go over there with their fucking tanks and stealth bombers and bomb the shit out of them and take back Portland. But we're just dumb. We're just dumb.
And they also never mentioned the Kavanaugh hearings where they tried to take over.
Well, that's another thing. Yeah. And then they went to a Supreme Court justice's house, which is illegal. You can't do that. and with Maxine Waters telling people to fight, and Chuck Schumer telling people the whirlwind's coming.
That's
I get
different.
it.
That's
That's not different. It's exactly
That's
the
different.
fucking same.
No,
to
I'm saying that
oh,
sarcastically.
yeah, go to the Capitol
Yeah.
and fight like hell.
Yeah,
Now,
that's protesting.
earlier in the warm up zone out in the fucking spaceship, the garage, we were debating with my wife, and we were talking about January 6th, and we were talking about a whole bunch of shit, and she agreed with us. If January 6th never happened, there would be little to complain about. What do you? Oh man, these groceries are so cheap. God damn it! Wow, this gas. Oh man,
What a bummer.
What a bummer. I'm
$1.50.
only spending fucking $1.75 in gas. Oh no, Jesus! Wow, look at all this American industry springing up around me,
Look
man.
at all this peace.
Wow, look at all this peace. Like, and I get it.
It sucks.
I get it. I want to be the big dog on the block. I want when one of these fucking countries, or one of the stands, or one of these other fucking asshole countries start acting up. I get it. We got to go in there and shut them down. But first of all, we shouldn't be doing it alone, and we shouldn't be doing it in countries that are 5 million miles away from us.
Yep.
We might as well be fighting on the fucking moon. Half the people in this country don't even know where Ukraine is. So I hope Trump is true to his word and shuts it down. But
I think he's got it right away too. Within the first couple of months, I think the Ukraine thing's
Yeah,
going.
there's going to be a lot of shit happening January 21st.
I do. I just think that he's going to he's going to, with the diplomacy like he did before. I think he's going to just get us out of it.
Well,
I'm worried a little more about with the Hamas, because that's a threat, and that would be a lot harder for him to get us out of. I think
it's not hard. It's difficult.
it is.
No, it's difficult with the choice that needs to be made. That's a very difficult conversation that people don't want to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
This Hitler stuff.
Okay. You want to get back to the Hitler stuff, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was the same topic.
Well, it is, but I was going more along the lines of if you got two dogs that can't get along, no matter what you do, they're going to fight. What do? Do you keep them right next to each other in the same fucking cage so you can sit there and bark at each other and claw each other through the fucking rails? Or do you get them out of there? You separate them. I know it sounds outlandish, but me alone, just me, I wish they'd flatten the whole fucking place and really break up the land fairly and equally and go, you know what, if you got to go through the dead fucking sea scrolls, figure out who actually has the claim, the actual historical claim, whether it's the fucking Ethiopians, whether if it's some guy in England, I don't give a shit. Figure out who has claim to that. I understand we broke it up during World War II. I get it. There's a bunch of fucking bullshit that happened over there. Get rid of all that. Sorry, it's over. You can't get along with each other. You need to separate. You're like
Go to your corner.
You go to your corner. Get a divorce. I'm sorry, you can't get along. You know, this is just like Bosnia and Herzegovina. You know what happened with that? I think they just got rid of the countries.
Yeah.
That's it. So I don't. The Ukraine-Russia thing. That's another useless fucking war. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Giving them money.
That's
You'll
it.
be staying out of it.
It's just a proxy war anyway.
Proxy war.
Proxy war. Nice, Adam.
No, he's right.
I know.
And there's another thing I wanted to tell you guys. I wanted to give you guys a weather report. Okay? Tom's from New Jersey, but we're all upstate New Yorkers, basically, you know. And it was raining in upstate New York today, a little bit. And I just sat outside. Well, I stood outside, and I reveled in all the leftist tears coming down upon me from the sky. And it made me, because it wasn't sunny, but it wasn't doom and gloom, and it was warm out. It was 71 degrees. And I got out of my truck, And I just stood there in my driveway for a little bit, and I got a little pitter patter of rain, and I just thought to myself, that's all them girls on TikTok I seen crying today, because I don't know why anyone would turn on a phone or a video camera while they are ugly person crying. I saw about 70 million of them today, and I probably actually saw literally 40 of them because they were all in my shorts. I just kept scrolling through these fucking people crying, saying they're going to move to Canada.
Why move to Canada? Why not move to Mexico?
Yeah, Mexico.
Because the cartels will shoot them off.
Canada. You're right.
Go
you're
to
right.
Canada with the rest of the commies.
Canada's too nice to these people. Yeah, send them to Mexico.
Well, they're the ones saying that they should come over, let them all in, go there.
And better yet, these people, these scumbags, these lowlifes, these celebrities, for example, LeBron James, who says he wants to leave America. I got a wonderful idea. Let's send him to Afghanistan for a week or two. Send him there. It's an all-expenses paid trip. We drop him right there, and we leave him there for like 2 weeks. He has to stay there. Oh. He comes back. I bet she's going to have renewed interest in the country.
Well, what about Brittany Griner?
How's Brittany
Griner doing?
Brittany Griner actually said that she was happy to be back.
Professional martyr.
Brittany Griner should have came back and got the fucking American flag tattooed on her forehead. Okay, we traded her for Nicolas Cage in Lord of War.
Victor Boot?
Victor Boot, the fucking merchant of death.
I know, it's crazy.
Did you see any of the people crying on TikTok?
No, I didn't.
Did you see any of the people crying in general?
There was some on Instagram.
Did you watch any of them on Instagram?
Nah, one or two videos.
And what was the overarching theme in some of these videos that you saw?
I could tell very, very easily just by listening to them that they were actually very bamboozled and very persuaded by the media.
They're gonna wake up and have no rights.
That's where the liberal they've been listening.
Won.
You can't just listen to listen to CNN and just assume it's news.
If you listen to CNN, you're an idiot.
If you listen to MSNBC, you're
listen.
an idiot
Even
too.
Fox News is better.
But I mean, you could
Fox
have,
News Fox News should do nothing but just go Trump, 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 and just show pulsing pictures of Trump. That's all they needed to do.
Well, we were talking about this in the garage earlier too. And remember what was I saying? I was
yelling Trump.
Well, I was telling you about I
got my Trump for Peace shirt on, courtesy of Sticker Mule in Amsterdam. Go buy Sticker Mule shit. They are not our sponsor, but they're awesome. Buy their shit. Sticker Mule. At stickermule.com, I'm thinking maybe.
Was it raining for you, or was it an orange sunshine?
Joe was riding an orange lightning bolt. Red. I got to put my hat on.
Now, let me tell you, when it comes to this whole thing with the news media, I think that on the conservative side, if the left is going to have so much control over the news media in this country, they're going to have CNN, MSNBC, a bunch of newspapers. It's overwhelmingly left-wing unless they step it down and say, look, we're not going to do bias anymore. I don't think the few conservative networks should change anything. Unless the left does it. If the left says, and then they both sides agree, look, we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to have non-biased media, then okay. But it's overwhelmingly left-wing. Overwhelmingly.
But this goes back, all this stuff started, actually, I think in 2000. As the internet evolved, or social media evolved, like AOL chat rooms.
Like 60 Minutes was in the 90s. They've always been biased.
All right, yeah. Even Walter Clark
Listen,
but,
hold on.
They actually
hold on. You don't need to retract that statement, but 60 Minutes used to be the fucking pinnacle of journalism in the 80s. It really was.
In the 80s.
The 70s
I know. But it bled into the 90s. Their coverage of the OJ trial was pretty much perfect. Their coverage of the Clinton, who would Clinton run against? Herbert, right? Herbert Bush, George Herbert.
Yeah.
60 Minutes used to be the bastion for information, and I know I'm older than you, not by much, but you used to be able to go to CNN and get news.
Yeah.
You used to go to CNN, headline news, Fox News always leaned Republican.
That's true.
I think CNN was a little bit more bipartisan back then. And in the 80s, well, I don't know when CNN came alive, but
CNN was by itself.
Yeah.
And Fox News wasn't the thing about Fox News too is they weren't created to be right wing. They became right wing right away.
No,
they were
Rupert Murdoch created
Turner.
them.
but they were created to be an independent news source, and they became right wing right away.
All
Because
these aren't even news channels. These are just like you got a box with 5 different pundits in it, like we're doing, and they're all yelling over each other.
yeah, they're talk shows.
Yeah.
They're
but-
news talk shows.
And we also need to realize, and this is more pointed at Tom, but a little bit at me because I had to learn about these people in school and shit. But you used to be able to turn on the television at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the 70s and 60s and 80s, get Cronkite or Ted Koppel, and whatever they said was fucking gold. First of all, there was no internet to fact check anything, but you weren't sitting there watching your fucking tube television going, oh, I bet that's a bunch of bullshit. I bet you that moon landing looks fake. That looks fucking fake. Blah, blah, blah,
It
blah,
was
blah,
all
blah,
pretty
blah.
accurate. I
It
think.
was,
Yeah.
and it was,
You wanted to be legit.
you wanted it to be legit.
You wanted to be trusted. You wanted to give you legit news. Even the local station, they wanted to be legit.
Fair.
Yeah.
Even Fox like local. They had this fat dude that used to run up to fucking people. Hey, you're supposed to be working, but you're bowling. Like the county commissioner's fucking bowling. Hey, what are you doing? Jim Gray or whatever used to run up to guys.
yeah,
and be
that
like,
guy was
I think
cool.
we talked about the Pete Rose thing with Jim Gray.
Jim Gray, local Jim Gray,
wait,
not
wait,
that
I got you,
Jim
I got you,
Gray.
I
Oh
got you.
God,
I
not
remember
that.
back
That's a travesty.
even back in 2003, there was that war that broke out in Iraq where they were going after the weapons of mass destruction. CNN was actually covering that. They were boots on the ground, and they were covering that in a non-biased way until they ended up being where they determined that Bush made a mistake.
All right, so
and then they attacked.
They
him.
covered. They did. Listen, you're both. He's leaning against you, and you're just rambling off
Yeah,
stuff.
that's true.
CNN covered the war, but
Yeah.
they did. They said, "Well, we don't know about this because it was George W."
Yeah.
And as much as they were in bed with that administration, these people are all in bed with these administrators. Jim Acosta would not be talking to the press secretary if these people have to grease some fucking palms. You know what I mean?
CNN did not like W.
No. CNN did
They
not.
actually Google back in the early days of Google. Actually, Google did something to George W. similar to stuff that they would do with Trump now. I remember it. I was getting ready to graduate high
push
school.
him?
That
No.
was my point. That was my point with
Did they
W.
throw a shoe
Yeah.
at him?
No, what they did was they had this Google bomb. They used to call them Google bombs, where you would put the keywords in the search and hit "I'm feeling lucky." So what you
That
would
was
do,
Deja
Yes.
News. I
what you
remember
would
it.
do is you would put in these 2 words called "miserable failure." You would put those 2 words in together with a space in between. You would hit "I'm feeling lucky," and you would see the biography of George Bush.
All right. So okay. So this is
So-
why my point is like this has evolved.
Yes.
I think George W. was. You can make the case that maybe with Clinton and the Monica case, where the vitriol started. But
Yeah,
let's just
that's
say
the
Yeah, yeah.
sensationalism
that was
started.
all right. So but W was compared to Hitler in the AOL chat rooms.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That is
They-
100%.
They were calling him. It
not
started with
just in
W.
AOL chat rooms and everywhere.
They had pictures. They had
Yes,
memes. Well, they weren't
yes.
memes then, but they had pictures of Bush as a Nazi.
and him and fucking
Cheney.
Cheney was Himmler. And yeah, I seen all that shit,
Yeah.
and they
so
were.
I mean, they went. Media hated George W.
They did
Bush.
hate
People
Don't
hated
forget, he
him.
was Skull and Bones too. So they had a lot of shit to talk about with him. He was Skull and Bones from Yale.
He was very newsworthy, George W. Bush.
A
But
lot
then
of Republicans didn't even like him.
he
I didn't
spent
know
too
what
much
to think
money.
of him.
He spent too much money as a Republican, and he was very.
He's a
used
popular
diplomacy.
guy.
Yeah, he was a guy you wanted to go get a
Popular
beer with.
guy. I'd
Yeah.
want him. I'd want to talk to him right now.
Very charming. I'd rather
I'm
talk to him
serious.
than Donald Trump.
I'm
So I mean,
I'm on the fence there. I'm
He
tied
came out
there.
and congratulated Trump, by the way.
He should.
Okay, so but he, made lovey-dovey with the Obamas. I mean, now all of a sudden he's America's favorite the liberals' favorite war criminal is George W.
Yeah, they're
Bush.
bringing him out. They're bringing him
now
out. Yeah.
Him and Cheney, and now they're lovable like a big cuddly teddy bear. When back 20 years ago they were Hitler.
Cheney fucking shot somebody and just got it. Yeah, I shot him. What are you gonna do?
But Cheney profited
you.
on the war. Of course, he had a vested interest in us going to war.
What do you mean?
Money?
No, money. What? What?
And now
Oil?
he's the one because of Liz. He's he's voting Pence. They all turned on Trump, and guess what? Trump showed him.
We're gonna wrap it up
It's
shortly.
exciting.
Give me some closing feelings, Joe.
Well,
The vibes.
yes.
The candidate of vibes.
So-
Good vibes and joy.
Ooh, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, all Donald Trump wants for the American people is for them to be rich, to be healthy, and to live out the American dream. And
That sounds like fucking Hitler to me.
Anyone that denies that or says that he's anything else, they need to turn off CNN and live in the real world and look back to what his term was in 2016 and see.
All the murder and death and camps and fucking all that shit. I remember
All
that.
the white supremacy.
That was crazy.
But
I
yeah,
think he's. I think that's what he wants his legacy to be.
I think his legacy is going to be the most hated or most controversial political person ever in history.
it just doesn't make any sense though, because when I remember back when he was president, I mean, I didn't other than him shooting his mouth off. And even that.
Mean tweets out. Mean tweets incoming.
Even
Ow!
that 90% of all of his stuff that he said was true. Even when they were insulting people, he was insulting people that deserved to be insulted.
And they
Little
were telling
Rocket
you why,
Man.
and they were telling you why you should be offended because he's insulting some fucking murdering scumbag.
Yeah, right.
We went, no, he shouldn't be
It
calling
doesn't
him
make
that.
any sense. It just is stupid.
I mean, he was done with some shit. I mean, he should have
some
said
stuff.
this.
Some stuff he said was off the cuff and stupid.
Off the cuff.
and he should have thought about it.
Was it on the mark?
It
Yeah,
should've
I
Yeah,
been
it was
mean,
off the cuff
Well,
on the mark.
McCain,
What
he
they
shouldn't
really
have.
should have done is just should have brought out the big guns and said he's worse than Satan. Like they kept on saying Hitler, they should have gone all the way. They should have said
Well,
he's
that
like
well they
might-
couldn't.
Satan boogeyman.
But they couldn't do Satan because that's what they are. That's exactly what Satan would do.
That's
Exactly
doing
what.
it.
Yeah.
That's
exactly
Joe's
what
closing
they are.
argument. They're Satan.
All right, have a good one.
Okay. Well, don't get up and leave. Okay.
He wants some
Okay.
pizza.
Okay. Is that what he said? He didn't say that, did he?
I'm speaking for him.
Tom, give me some final. Give me some.
Well, I
give me a
did-
final wrap up of what you feel, your vibes, your joy.
I did see Kamala's most of Kamala's speech this afternoon.
Her concession speech.
Her concession speech.
Yeah, it's funny because that's where she's gonna be working, a fucking concession stand.
Maybe she'll get her job back at McDonald's.
Yeah, her job
So-
back at McDonald's she stole from that pregnant dead woman.
Okay, but she's saying, "I was like, well, we're all about peace. We're all about moving forward. We didn't get the result. That's that typical bullshit." But she didn't do her concession speech yesterday, or she didn't talk to the people. She made them
Yeah,
wait
they
around
said,
for her.
yeah, you
Sat
just
there
sit here,
and
wait for
cried.
me, 6 hours.
Kelly
You
did
wait.
the same thing. You should have just come
You
out
wait.
and say something to these people.
No, Rod Ham did the same bullshit.
I know, it sucks. But she came out this afternoon, and then she's saying like, well, we're gonna have a peaceful transition.
Yeah.
To
Wink.
Trump.
Wink, wink.
I mean, what the hell's that?
A peaceful transition
The guy
of
you were
power.
calling Hitler.
Yeah,
for the last-
Hitler. We're gonna give Hitler the reins.
You know what's gonna happen if you have Trump as president? You're talking about no rights at all. She was selling that shit to these people, and they were eating it up, and that's why you had these TikTok videos.
I
today.
love it.
It's
crying.
It's her fault. I mean, yeah, her to an extent. It's her fault. It's also the media, but she sold that shit to everyone, and now she's saying we're gonna take the high road now. Fuck you.
Listen, coming soon, we will have a video screen that's going to be anchored to that pipe, so we can have videos on us while we're watching videos of people crying and whining, and we're going to make fun of them. Yeah, we're going to try to not be nice about it. You know how people try to be nice about stuff? I think it's over. I think the niceties have stopped. Let's stop
It
being
stopped
nice
a while
about
ago.
Well, we need reality. We need reality. This is my final statement. Adam gets to go last this time, but this is my final statement.
I want Adam's words of wisdom.
Good. Get my words of wisdom are: get the fuck over it. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it. Because England told our ancestors, "You ain't gonna practice that religion," and our ancestors said, "You know what? Fuck you. We're leaving. We're out of this fucking shithole, and we're heading to America." Well, guess what? People are tired of paying $12 for gas, $16 for eggs, and their kids want to be a fucking a lesbian squirrel. Nobody wants that shit. And the Democrats, your kid better not be a squirrel, because the Democrats will take it and choke it to death in front of you.
Oh, I mean, like Peanut?
Yeah, they're evidently squirrel killers
we
too.
We should do a podcast about Peanut.
Peanut,
yeah, definitely.
Well, the fucking
Forgot about that squirrel.
my political party all has fucking peanut brains, evidently. But I truly wanted to read a little synopsis of that Facebook post to just show you the severity of the people that you were dealing with. They don't want a peaceful transition of power. They don't want peaceful anything. You need to agree with them, and if you don't, you're an enemy. And enemies get dealt with. I don't want to be dealt with. I want to be on the right side of history. We are walking and living through history right now. Anyone that says we're not doesn't understand what's going on right now. This could have been the cataclysm that sent this country over the edge. It still might be. If Kamala Harris won, we'd be in 16 new wars and have 17 million fucking illegal immigrants stepping all over it. We would have had to start. I got a bunch of rooms in my house. I would have had to start putting motherfuckers up.
Because of our benefactors, money. It's all about money in that situation there.
Well, you know what? The poor is fucking stood up. Yeah. It's time. No one needs to go into camps. No one needs to go to get re-educated, which the Democrats have talked about that. People just need to pull their fucking heads out of their ass and realize that this guy right now at this moment is probably the best chance we have for this country. If you don't like it, tough. Move to fucking Canada with the rest of the fucking pussy communists. Go ahead, Adam.
Not that you're a pussy communist, Adam.
Yeah, not that you're a pussy communist.
No,
I'm saying go up with them. Go north to the border where Canada makes Mexico look like a bastion of fucking freedom. So go ahead.
I'll keep it short and sweet.
Of course, I thought so.
No more bullshit.
No more bullshit.
Thanks, Adam.
Well said.
Those are wistful words
said.
of
Joe,
wisdom.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And give us the like and subscribe spiel.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Should they smash that like button?
Smash the like button.
Or should they press it gently?
Smash
the like
want.
button.
Okay. Should they subscribe?
Subscribe, yes. And also subscribe to us on Rumble, too.
Should they comment?
Leave some funny comments.
Yeah, leave some funny comments like Trump. We like Trump.
Yes.
One comment for Trump means 10 votes for Trump.
Exactly.
And what about our website, Joe? Plug our website one more time.
Unqualifieduprising.com.
I love you, the actual website maker, always looks at one of us when I ask you that question. Like, we're supposed to know it.
Yeah.
You're the computer guy.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's
great. Good.
It's like not a hard one. It's like such an easy one to forget, too.
All right. Have a good one.
Okay. Tom, say your goodbyes to our crowd.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Adam, say your goodbyes.
So long for now.
So long for now. Welcome back, America. We are back in the fast lane. And America is great again. And, Joe, we're not off the air yet, so no sidebar conversations. I see you over there.
Alaska was called for Trump.
Alaska was called for Trump?
Yeah.
Just now?
Like an hour ago.
Good job, Alaska.
Good job, Alaska. I thought
Icing
Alaska
on
was
the
called
cake.
yesterday.
No, they just called it. They were doing the counting of the ballots.
Well, thank God them
they have a
fucking
primitive-
SEALs voted up there.
Yeah.
Thank God. What did they say, Joe?
that Alaska went to Trump.
Okay.
I think he got an extra 4 electoral votes. He's
Okay.
now up to 295. Arizona and Nevada. He's leading in Arizona and Nevada.
He's
So
fucking,
he's
what do you mean
probably
he's
gonna-
leading? These people aren't done
They're
yet?
not
Election's
done
over.
counting, no.
What, do they got 4 eyes?
No, but he's going to win those states too. So he's going to have over 300.
I swear to
by the
God,
time
if I
it's
wake
done.
up tomorrow and she's president, I'm going to be so pissed.
No, the election's over.
Because there
Two-
are
you
articles
sure?
that say that.
Yes.
Like,
Well, apparently the election's not over because you're telling me it's just getting
There's
called.
2 states that aren't called. 48 48 are
What are the other states?
Arizona and Nevada.
What is their fucking problem?
They're idiots. there.
Nevada's gambling. I'm okay with
They gotta
that.
get all the illegals in there to vote.
Yeah, it could be that too. But either way, it looks like Trump's
4
gonna
billion
win both
illegals.
states.
Oh my God! Now I'm gonna have more agita. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Yes.
The election's over. 270 to win. 270. He has over 270.
Okay.
secured.
We're sure.
Yes.
Oh man, boy, with that podcast would have been all for nothing if fucking Trump lost. Good Lord. This has been another episode of Unqualified Uprising, the beginning of a new era in America. I've been your host, Mike. Bye for now.